Welcome to OMG Talk Show for small business owners, workaholics, and whiz-bang entrepreneurs. Here's your hosts, Paul and Sarah Finkelstein.
Are you thinking about becoming a small business owner? Are you thinking about owning your own business? Are you thinking about eventually no longer being an employee? Well, if so, employee mindset has got to go. I'm Paul Finkelstein with OMG Talk podcast for the small business owner, entrepreneur, whiz-bang entrepreneur, and workaholics podcast. We also hold an in-person free networking meet and greet in Delray Beach in South Palm Beach County between 8 and 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So this Wednesday, if you're available and you'd like to speak for 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes, in the first part of our meeting, we have 3 parts to our meeting for our free meet and greet. First part, we let everybody introduce each other. And when you introduce yourself, come prepared with a 1 to 2 minute introduction about your business. Try to do it in an educational way versus a sales pitch. Everybody seems to not like sales pitches these days because everybody loves to buy, but they hate to be sold. Hate is a strong word, but it's used too frequently today. It's unfortunate. So chapter 8 in a potential book that I'd love to write, Employee Mindset Has Gotta Go, in chapter 8. I came up with about 10 different concepts that I really are near dear to my heart with having a small business and the things to focus on. But why does the employee mindset gotta go? Well, first of all, I grew up ever since I was contrary to anyway, we guys like to play a lot, but also at the same time, we like to work a lot. And one thing that is so true and so important is that employee mindset has to be transformed into an entrepreneur mindset. You see, I think it was Robert Kiyosaki that said that there are 4 ways of making money, and everything goes into one of those 4 ways of making money. One way is the employee mindset, and the other way is self-employed mindset, which is very similar to the employee mindset. So self-employed and employee mindset are on this half of a cash flow quadrant you might have heard about in Robert Kiyosaki's book. Many people talk about it in many different industries, and there's 4 ways to make money. The first 2 are being self-employed, which pretty much is you're the boss. Being self-employed, you clock in, you clock out. What does the boss do, though? Everything that the employee doesn't see after 5 o'clock and before 9 o'clock, which means, hint, hint, the prior chapter, why I like the prior chapter, which is success is not 9 to 5. But the employee mindset thinks that success is 9 to 5. You see, the other half, some people confer to it as passive income, if you will, but being a business owner is the kind of business that has passive income, recurring revenue as well, and then investments, which are can be recurring revenue as well, depending on your protecting principle or making money. So those are the 4 ways of making money. Here's your investments, your business, being a business owner from recurring revenue, where you're not in the business. You have employees that are running the business for you. Then there's self-employed, and there's being an employee. So it is so important for that. And question is, how are you running your business? Or if you're interested in learning more about this employee mindset and how to ditch it and go for the transformation of becoming an entrepreneur, there are ways to do it on a part-time basis, meaning you don't have to leave your job. You don't have to tell your employer. You could do it on nights and weekends. Honesty and upfront is always great, but people need to know what they need to know at the right time and the right place. Am I right or am I right? Say yes or yes. So anyway, this is my thoughts on the employee mindset. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Feel free to take some guts, type something down below, whether you're on Facebook, LinkedIn or YouTube. Love to connect and see how like-minded we are, or maybe not. So if we're not, obviously you clicked off and see there are a few people watching, a few people were watching, now they're not watching, etc. But what matters is who's watching. So if you're interested in having a small business of your own and not sure what it is, let's chat. Might have something for you. On that note, it is very different between being an employee and being an entrepreneur. The employee just wants the paycheck, just wants to get there at 9 and leave at 5. Get there at 9, leave at 5. That's the employee. The other side of the equation is the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur, they might look like they're working all the time, like my mom was working all the time. I caught her in her office by the dining room table, which was an office also inside our house. All the paper spread out, looking at markets, looking at client accounts, looking at whatever homework she had to do to get things done. It's very fascinating, I think, small business, entrepreneurship as well. But the term that she was called was workaholic. Workaholic could be, some people are like, oh, that's a nasty word. No, don't call me a workaholic. Other people are like, bring it on, bring it. Call me a workaholic. I suggest that the real term for some workaholics in their own businesses are entrepreneurs. They know that success is not 9 to 5. They know that they have to ditch the employee mindset. And that's my thought. Love to hear your thought for Chapter 8. Employee mindset has got to go. If you have your own business, great. Let's chat. If you don't, let's chat anyway. Love to meet up with anybody that is thinking about the entrepreneur bug and getting it into their life. Well, here's the last thought from Tony, who provides the outro and intro for our voiceover beginning and ending. Check this out from Tony.
You've been listening to the OMG Online Meet and Greet Talk Show. Just for listening, grab 28 grand prizes at omgtalk.com or onlinemeetandgreet.com.